Hi and welcome to another quick tip. And in this quick tip I'm going to tell you all about a new feature in Adobe XD recently launched at Adobe Max 2018, which is called the voice trigger. So we can actually talk to our app and make a trigger out of that. So in this case I'm working on an app which is going to run in my new refrigerator, and I would like to talk to my fridge and say, well, hey, there is no butter anymore. And then the app will put it on my shopping list on the right hand side. So I've got a couple of artboards and I want to connect those mainly by voice. So in this case the fridge is waiting for me to do something. Of course the interaction has to be done in the prototype workspace, and then drag to the second artboard. And in this case I would like to have the idea that I'm zooming into the app. So I want to trigger not by tap but by voice, and it needs to respond to "Hey fridge." Then I don't want the default transition, I want to have the auto animate, so it gives me the feeling of a zoom into the app, which can take a little bit longer. There we go. So let's see if that works. I'm going to preview the app, hold down the spacebar while speaking, "Hey fridge," and the app opens up. So perfect response. This is sort of a monologue with my fridge. But I would like to have it respond with a nice voice. So again, I'm going to go to the next artboard and it will go there over time. So I want to have a little animation in there. So also an auto animate, maybe a little bit quicker. There we go. And then this artboard needs to respond. So I'm going to select the artboard and then it needs to say something back immediately. So in this case, not an auto animate or a transition, but a speech playback. And it will say, "Hi, how can I help you?" Question mark. Then I need to respond, well, there is no butter. So in this case, I'm going to use this button to go to the next artboard. And so this is really a trigger to go to the next scene, the next artboard. And in this case, I will need to respond by voice again and need to say, "There is no butter." Then a transition to the next artboard. This is perfect. So let's see how that works. Preview. Spacebar. "Hey fridge."
Hi, how can I help you?
That's a very nice voice, a very nice response. "There is no butter." Perfect. So we end up over here, and now the fridge needs to respond with something like, "Shall I put it on your grocery list?" So let's select this option again. Not dragging, but just a time-based trigger. And the speech playback will be, "Shall I put it on your grocery list?" Question mark. And then of course I will need to say something like "Yes please." So in this case this button will go to the next artboard when I respond nicely with a "Yes please." And then it will transition to this one. Now I want to have the visual feedback of that it's been added to my very Dutch grocery list. So I've prepared this screen with two screens actually. So I want to make an auto animate. So it bounces a little bit and gives me a visual feedback that it's been put on my list. Not with a trigger, just with some time. Not a transition, but an auto animate. And then it needs to bounce a little bit slower to really see what's happening. And eventually it will need to respond to "Thank you." So this will lead us back to the home screen again, the home screen or the fridge itself. There we go. And of course it needs to listen to my voice for one final time. "Thank you." And then with a nice transition. And maybe it would be nice to have a little bit more feedback from this artboard. So let's put a final speech playback in there, triggered by time. I put it on your list. Final preview. Hey fridge,
Hi, how can I help you?
there is no butter.
Shall I put it on your grocery list?
Yes, please.
I've put it on your list.
Thank you. There we go. So this is the new feature in Adobe XD. Pretty awesome. And these are the features that keep me off the street and get me in sort of a new hobby. So I hope it does the same thing for you. And I can't wait to see what you are going to make with your voice-controlled Adobe XD features.
Bye bye. See you again in another quick tip.